Welcome to Healthy Living. I'm your host, Margot Marshall. Different cultures have unique cuisines, and variety is the spice of life. Join the Ramirez family as they share more of their family favourites, which will no doubt become favourites with your family.
Welcome to the kitchen of the Ramirez family, in which we like to have international dishes from all over the world, including Mexican dishes. So for this episode, we will have a special meal that we happen to do as a tradition in our family. We have a special day in which we rest, the Sabbath day, and in order to make the day more enjoyable, we like to prepare some food items beforehand so that when the Sabbath comes, we can spend the time as families eating together with these already prepared dishes. This is one of those dishes that we enjoy eating for that Sabbath day. You can use it any day, of course, but for us, this is something special. And I have with me my lovely wife, Susan.
Hello.
And my biggest daughter, which actually was born in Norway. What is her name?
Talitha.
Very good. So we'll be preparing a special dish called tostada. And tostada has its name from the word toast. Because in the old days, when people didn't use their tortillas and they became old, before they got rancid, what they end up doing is they put them on the somewhere that there was some sort of heat, and then as they were leaving that tortilla there for a while, it became hardened, it became toasted, and in that way they could reuse that tortilla. Now, today we have two forms of tortillas. We have the baked ones and the fry ones. We prefer to have the toasted ones, even though still the fry ones could be an option as a once in a while type of dish. So Susan, what do we need for this dish apart from the tostadas?
Well, apart from the tostadas, we'll need some refried beans, which you can prepare your beans the day before, and then you can cook them, and then you can just mash them up. The refried beans, as we mentioned before, they're not fried; they're just mashed. Basically, we mash them with a little bit of cooked onion, and then we have some salsa. This happens to be green salsa. You can use any salsa that you like. We have lettuce, radishes, tomatoes, olives, sour cream, and onion.
Now, if you're having trouble finding tostadas, what another option would be, you can get some of these taco shells. We went here to the store in Australia, and we saw many stores have carried these. And you can either break it and have a little half tostada, or you can actually do this inside the taco shell. Is definitely an option.
You could also just bake the tortillas, couldn't you? The corn.
That's right. You can also put some corn tortillas. You put them on a pan on low heat for an hour or so, and they will become nice and hard. Okay,
so no, for the tostadas, whenever we have tostadas, I always think, oh, we're having tostadas. It seems so simple. And you know, it's something that's very quick to do for Sabbath, and it's something that's very easy, but I tell you, every time, and it happens every single time we eat them, I think these are so good. So it's actually something we really enjoy for Sabbath. Even though it's so simple, it's actually very good. Talitha, I'm going to let you have this tostada, and you can put on it what you like.
Okay.
Like, what is that?
This is the green salsa.
Mm-hmm. This salsa, the green salsa, is not an irritating type of salsa. It just gives nice taste to the dish.
And this is lettuce. Tomato.
Put some fresh cut tomato.
Pone la otra. Y los radishes también.
We also have some radishes. This is optional, olives, and a vegan sour cream. There's many recipes of how to do this. Just go online, or even some of these episodes, we have covered that in the past. And some onion.
Was that pretty easy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was really easy.
So as you can see, what you do, you put the big pot of beans. People help themselves, and if somebody doesn't like that much onions, well, they can skip the onions, no problem. And you could do your own custom-made tostada according to the needs and desire of each of the participants. And I had a friend of mine, he is from Colombia. He had never tried tostadas before. He came to eat in our home. He actually finished the whole package of tostadas. He liked it so much. This is something really tasty. Another thing, we like to use the pinto beans for the beans that we use in the tostada. And I'm gonna give you a little hint, interesting fact. People in Mexico actually don't like the kidney beans, those red beans. I don't know, it's something cultural. I mean, I eat them, but it's not like, wow, kidney beans. And I remember when I moved to Norway, the people in Norway, they wanted to do something special for me, so they cook Mexican food. And guess what beans they use? Kidney beans. I had to bite my tongue as I was eating my food, saying, thank you very much for doing this for me. But as you can see, simple dish. You can do it at home. Make sure you do your own variations and enjoy this wonderful Mexican dish that will make all your family members very happy. Now we'll continue with an exotic dish. This dish is actually not a Mexican dish. This dish is actually an Arabic dish. The history of how this came into our home, one time we saw a documentary from Tunisia, and they had this yummy dish they were eating there. So as we investigated, we realized that this dish was called lablabi. In order to help us with this dish of lablabi, we have the help of my middle daughter. What is your name?
Rebecca.
Rebecca. And one of the main things in this dish is going to be chickpeas. Now, you can call this lablabi, or you can call this Mexican Arabic garbanzos. Either way will fit well. And Mexican dishes have some influence from the Arabic world. They actually started due to the history of Spain. Arabics conquer Spain. They stay in Spain many years, and they brought with them many food items, spices, and so forth. Then this Spanish went and conquered Latin America and brought some of those things to Latin America. That's why that influence of the Arab world is a little bit present on Mexican dishes. So Susan, what ingredients we need to make this dish?
So we are going to use 2 tablespoons of olive oil. We're going to use 4 garlic cloves crushed. We're going to use 1 tablespoon of cumin, 1 tablespoon of paprika. Here we have 1/4 to 1/2 cup of lemon, depending on your taste. We like a lot of lemon. And to garnish, we have the hummus and tomatoes, which we'll put on our bread later after we have our garbanzos ready to cook.
As in the Arab world, in Mexico, what you do with the old tortillas, you actually can put them in some sort of heat for some time. They will become hardened, and you can keep them longer. In the Arab world, you can actually have that bread that is getting old. What they do, they put them under heat also, and they toast that bread so they can last longer. This is a dish that is served as for breakfast and is served over some toasted bread. So what do we do, Susan, to cook this dish?
So what we're going to do is we're just going to put our olive oil in the pan to saute a little bit the garlic. And the garlic you have to watch very carefully because garlic burns easily. So we're just going to saute it a little bit, and then we'll add our seasonings. Now our garbanzos are pre-cooked. They've been cooked for a while, and they're also pre-salted. So you shouldn't need to add much more salt to your garbanzos. You can just salt it as needed. But once we have our garlic cooked a little bit, you can start to smell the aroma. Garlic always smells so good when it's cooking.
And be careful with your garbanzos or chickpeas. Make sure that you cook them well. Yeah. I've seen some people are not used to eating chickpeas, and those chickpeas are hardened, and it's just not the nicest sensation to be eating hard chickpeas.
Yes, and I do not like crunchy chickpeas. I like my chickpeas, my garbanzos, to be nice and soft. And already you can start to smell the flavors of the cumin and the paprika. Doesn't that smell good, Rebecca?
Yes.
Yes, and once it starts to give off that flavor, you know, that nice smell, you know it's time to add our garbanzos. Eddie, if you can hand those to me, please.
And these spices that we're using actually have anti-cancer properties. So it's a good idea to be using these spices on a regular basis.
You can also add a little bit more water to your garbanzos if you want. I like them to be a little bit saucy. Well, all right, so we are going to add some more water to our garbanzos, and we're just going to add the water that we cooked their garbanzos in. Thank you, Rebecca. I like to have the garbanzos nice and juicy. Thank you, sweetheart. And what's nice about the garbanzos is that the flavor is actually better the next day. So this is a dish that I love to do for Sabbath because the flavor just intensifies while it's sitting. But there's one ingredient that you're not going to want to put to the last minute, and that's the lemon juice. So if I was going to leave these over for Sabbath for the next day, I would just let them go to the refrigerator like this. And the next day when I heated up my garbanzos, once they're well heated like these are, I would just add the lemon juice. Rebecca, do you want to give me the lemon juice?
And that lemon juice does something with those spices. It just brings the flavor much better.
All right, Rebecca, what are we going to put on our bread with our garbanzos?
Some hummus.
Okay, you want to go ahead and start putting the hummus on your bread? Because we're just about ready to serve them.
Again, hummus is not a Mexican dish. This is an Arabic dish, but yet it mixes very well with this garbanzo dish.
As much as you like there.
Mm-hmm. And once you try this dish, you're going to love it. Okay, that's good.
All right, I'll go ahead and put some garbanzos on. And again, we like to eat this with sauce, so we eat it with a fork. It may seem strange to eat bread with a fork, but it just tastes so good. And we like to finish it up with some chopped tomatoes on top. Rebecca, you want go ahead and put some tomatoes
in the top. Mm-hmm. So it gives this nice, colorful, and it mixes very good with the flavors.
All right, Rebecca, I think there's only one thing left to do with this dish, and what is it?
Eat it.
That's right. We hope that you give this recipe a try and enjoy it.
Now, for our special Sabbath dish, it wouldn't be complete without a nice dessert. And one of the issues with many desserts is that they tend to be very high in fat. Many of them have dairy, and dairy is not the best thing for you to eat. In fact, many people have issues with dairy and they don't even realize it. manifests itself with skin problems, stomachal problems, and the fact that it has such a high levels of cholesterol is not the best thing for your cardiovascular health. Instead, here is a nice way of closing a meal in a healthy way. And this dish will be helping us to make this dish my youngest daughter. What is your name?
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. And these are products that you can find readily available in your market. And what type of products we're going to be using for this dessert, Susan?
Well, here we have some frozen pineapple. We also have some frozen mango. We have frozen banana. And we also have some coconut cream. And over here we have some orange juice.
Another thing that you can add to this recipe is papaya. Unfortunately, right now, there's seasons of papayas, and if you don't have it, it's okay, don't use it. But if you have it available, you can get some, froze it, and use it as part of this recipe. One thing with these dishes is that all of them, you can find them in the Mexican culture. They have different origins. The coconut, actually, the word coconut comes from the word coco, because a coco looks like a head. So when the Spanish and the Portuguese saw the cocos floating in the ocean, they named them coco. The bananas actually come from Malaysia. And some actually are native from Australia. This is one of the foods that are native from Australia. And the mangoes come originally from southern India, and they were brought to all the world, including here in Australia. And finally, the pineapples come from Latin America. This is one of the first dishes that Christopher Columbus tried, and he loved it. The reason why they call them pineapple is because it seemed that they look like a pine cone, and that's where the word pineapple comes from. In the original language, they're called ananas, which comes from the word nana, and nana in that original language, the Tupi language, actually means the excellent fruit, which is true because I love this pineapples. And finally, the orange juice comes from the Arabic. The Arabics introduced the word naranja, from laranja, from the Arabic, and that's the way that it came to the Americas and the rest of the world. So let's get busy with this dish.
All right. Now this is something that actually we just kind of threw together one day. We were looking to have a nice frozen sweet treat, and we looked to see what we had in our freezer, and this is what we had available. Elizabeth, you want to help me put some in, sweetie? And you can just put in as little as much as you want. Eddie really likes pineapple, so we're going to put in a little bit of pineapple. That's good. We'll do that. And then let's put in some mango. Do you love mango?
Yes.
Yes, I have a great picture of Elizabeth eating a mango when she was a baby. It was all over her face. I'm not sure who was eating who.
In Mexico, there's actually more than 40 different types of mangoes, from big ones to little ones.
Put in some bananas. That's good. All right, and now we're going to put in some coconut milk.
And that coconut milk gives them that fresh taste.
And a rich flavor too.
And this rich flavor.
It's very nice. Makes it nice and creamy as well.
It's not something you want to eat every single day, but once in a while it's fine to use some coconut.
And the orange juice helps us to get it spinning, getting it moving around, and it also adds a very nice flavor. So Eddie, if you can.
I'll put this here.
You know, one time we went to Jamba Juice, which is a place that in America where you can go to get smoothies. And the girls were so excited they were going to eat Jamba Juice for the first time. And then when they actually got their smoothie, they all decided that they liked this much better than what they had at Jamba Juice.
So try this. One second. I need to put it on the other way. this on. Ready. Very good.
All right, so we just blend it until it's nicely blended, and then you have a very fast, easy, nutritious, sweet treat to enjoy at home.
And this is something that we enjoy very much eating. This is something that you can accompany many of the dishes, and it's just like ice cream. One issue with ice cream, the real ice cream made with milk, is that when you add sugar and dairy, that oxidizes the cholesterol in the milk, and that actually can trigger more atherosclerosis in the arteries. So this, without any artificial sugar added, if you taste this, some people may think that you put some sugar on it. There's no sugar absolutely in it. It tastes really good. And the nice thing about it is that you're eating a phytochemical-rich dish, which means that this actually helps you in the prevention of cancer. So it's a good idea to eat a nice phytochemical meal. What is this phytochemicals? Are protective foods that are found only in plants. It comes from the word phyto, and it comes from the word chemical. So use this dish in your normal setting. Enjoy it very much with your family, and I'm sure you're going to love it when you try this dish. So here's the result of this special meal for Sabbath. We want to thank Susan and the girls. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And as you can see, simple ingredients. You can do some nice, healthy dishes. And this is the final product. We have the tostadas, which again, you can do your own combination and adapt it according to your needs. We have the flabbledy or Mexican Arabic garbanzos. And finally, we have the nice ice cream looking dish, which everybody is looking forward to tasting it. And you know, it's been a pleasure sharing with you these recipes. We hope you put them in practice. The last times we did some cooking classes was in Cairo, Egypt, and in the northern part of California. So let's go ahead and try some of these dishes. Go ahead, Talita, try your tostada. How's that?
It may be simple, but it's really good.
It's very good. What about yours, Rebecca?
Is that good?
It's very good. And what about yours? I don't think that one tastes good, doesn't it?
That's good, huh?
It's the best, isn't it? Thank you so much for opening your home, and we hope you enjoy these dishes of Mexican cooking classes of the Ramirez family.